Love isn't always loud. In fact, the most sincere forms of love often whisper. They are found in subtle gestures, quiet consistency, and the moments in between, when no one else is watching. While some men may not express their feelings with grand speeches or dramatic moves, their actions speak in ways that are even more powerful. The truth is, when a man truly cares, he often shows it silently, through attention, presence, and effort. We live in a world that encourages loud declarations and flashy displays of affection. Social media has made many of us equate love with flowers, expensive gifts, or constant verbal affirmations. But real connection isn't always that obvious. Sometimes, it's in the way he listens without interrupting. The way he notices when you're having a rough day before you even say a word. Or how he brings up a detail you forgot you ever told him, just to remind you that your words matter to him. When a man truly likes you, or is quietly falling in love, he doesn't always say it right away. Maybe he's shy, maybe he's afraid, or maybe he just expresses love differently. But that doesn't mean the feelings aren't there. You just have to know where to look. You'll find clues in the way he shows up, in the way he quietly chooses you every day, not through noise, but through presence. This kind of love is softer, but no less deep. In fact, it often runs deeper, because it's not driven by performance, it's driven by sincerity. He's not trying to impress. He's not doing it for attention. He's simply responding to how he feels when he's around you. Comfortable, safe, and real. And instead of telling the world how much you mean to him, he shows you through the small, consistent things that slowly build trust, affection, and emotional intimacy. In this guide, we'll explore 15 silent ways a man tells you he likes you. Not with words, but through meaningful, heartfelt actions. These aren't obvious signs that everyone can see. These are private moments, quiet efforts, and subtle behaviors that reveal just how much space you take up in his heart. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to shout. It just needs to stay, support, and remember. Whether you're in a new connection or trying to understand where you stand with someone special, these signs can help you read between the lines. They'll remind you that the most powerful expressions of affection often come in the form of presence, patience, and quiet devotion. So, if you've ever wondered whether he's falling for you, but hasn't said the words, keep reading. His heart might already be speaking louder than you think. When a man truly cares about you, one of the most telling signs is how he remembers the little things you say. These aren't grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Rather, they're quiet, thoughtful acknowledgments of your world. You might mention your favorite snack in passing, talk about a stressful meeting coming up, or casually reference a childhood memory. Days or even weeks later, he brings it up, asking how that meeting went, surprising you with your favorite treat, or remembering the name of a place you once loved. It shows he's not just hearing you, he's listening. This kind of attention reveals emotional investment. It means your words don't just pass through his ears. They stay with him. He files them away not because he has to, but because they matter to him. It's in these subtle moments that his affection becomes undeniable. It's not about showing off or proving anything. It's about connection. Remembering the little details is his way of saying, "You're important. What you say stays with me." You might never hear him say, "I love you" right away, but his actions speak volumes. The care he takes to remember your world, your likes, your worries, your past, is his quiet way of making space for you in his. That kind of attention isn't taught. It comes from genuine interest, from someone who truly sees you, and who wants to be close, even without saying a word. 2. He checks on you without being asked. When a man checks on you without being asked, it's one of the most tender and revealing ways he shows you matter to him. He doesn't wait for a reason or a prompt. He just reaches out. Maybe it's a simple, "How are you today?" or "Did you sleep well?" These moments may seem small, but they come from a place of genuine care. It's not about being polite. It's about wanting to be present in your life, even when there's no occasion. This kind of checking in often happens at unexpected times. He might text you in the middle of a busy day just to make sure you're okay, or call after a long silence simply because you crossed his mind. It shows he's emotionally attuned to you, thinking of you without needing a reminder. When you're sick, tired, or just quiet, he notices and doesn't wait for you to ask for support. He offers it instinctively. These check-ins become his silent way of saying, "You're not alone." He wants to be someone you can count on, someone who sees beyond the surface. When a man does this, he's not just being kind, he's emotionally investing in you. He's placing your well-being among his daily thoughts, which speaks volumes about how deeply he values you. It's never about dramatic gestures. It's about the quiet frequency of care, the steady presence that says, "I'm here, and I'm thinking about you." Without needing to say much, these moments reveal his heart. 3. He adjusts his schedule to spend time with you. When a man adjusts his schedule just to spend time with you, it speaks louder than any romantic words. He might be juggling work, family, responsibilities, or even personal goals, but he finds a way to carve out time for you. Not because he's forced to, but because he genuinely wants to. It shows that your presence in his life matters deeply to him, enough to rearrange what's important for what's most important, you. He doesn't make excuses about being too busy. Instead, he looks at his calendar and thinks, "Where can I fit her in?" Or better yet, "How can I make space for her?" Whether it's skipping a night out with friends, finishing work early, or waking up earlier to talk before your day starts, these actions aren't random. They're intentional. They show that he values the time you spend together and wants to make it happen, even when it's inconvenient. And he does it without making a big announcement. There's no need for a speech about how much is sacrificed. He simply shows up, present, available, and engaged. Because to him, your time together isn't a disruption to his life. It's a highlight. The quiet effort behind his choices reveals how strongly he feels. When someone changes their rhythm to match yours, it's a sign that your connection is becoming part of his core routine. In the end, it's not just about time. It's about priority. And when a man willingly adjusts his life to include you, even in small ways, he's saying, "You matter more than comfort or routine." And that's one of the clearest, silent signs of someone falling in love. 4. He listens more than he speaks. When a man listens more than he speaks, especially in moments that matter, it's a quiet but powerful way of showing you how much he values you. In a world where people are quick to talk, to interrupt, or to share their own opinions, choosing to listen is an act of care and patience. He isn't just hearing your words, he's absorbing them, paying attention not just to what you say, but how you say it. The tone, the pauses, the emotions behind your words, all of it matters to him. He doesn't rush to fix everything or make the conversation about himself. Instead, he gives you space to speak freely, to share what's on your heart, without judgment or distraction. His eyes stay on you. His phone stays away. His responses are thoughtful, not reactive. It's in these moments that you realize he's not just listening to reply, he's listening to understand. You might be venting after a long day or quietly sharing a memory from your past. He stays present. He doesn't interrupt, correct, or talk over you. And when you're done, he remembers what you said, even days or weeks later. That's the kind of listening that doesn't come from obligation. It comes from emotional presence. A man who listens more than he speaks isn't trying to impress you with words. He's letting you know, silently, that your voice matters, that what you say holds weight in his world. And through this quiet patience, this steady attention, he's showing something deeper than interest. He's showing respect, admiration, and a growing emotional bond. 5. He saves things to share with you later. When a man saves things to share with you later, it's a deeply personal and subtle way of showing that you're constantly on his mind, even when you're not around. Whether it's a funny video, a song that reminds him of you, a news article related to something you once talked about, or a small gift he picks up because it made him think of you, these gestures are quiet, thoughtful bookmarks of affection. He's moving through his day, encountering the world, and instead of keeping those moments to himself, he sets them aside just for you. It means that his experience of life isn't separate from yours. He's already imagining how you'd react, what you'd say, how you'd feel. You're part of his internal world. He doesn't wait until he sees you to remember you. He's carrying you with him, mentally and emotionally, collecting little moments that feel worth sharing because they mean something to you. He might not say "I miss you" directly, but when he sends you something with a simple "this reminded me of you," it's his way of showing it. When he saves something instead of enjoying it alone, it's a quiet way of saying, "It didn't feel complete until I shared it with you." That's intimacy. That's emotional presence. These aren't grand gestures, but they are incredibly meaningful. They show that you live in his thoughts, not just in conversation, but in real-time moments. It's how he weaves you into the fabric of his daily life, silently, intentionally, and sincerely. And sometimes, that matters more than any big confession ever could. 6. He notices your mood shifts instantly. When a man notices your mood shifts instantly, without you saying a word, it reveals just how closely he's tuned into you. It means he's paying attention, not just to your words, but to your expressions, your energy, your silences. He picks up on the tiny changes in your tone, the look in your eyes, the way you pause mid-sentence or smile a little less than usual. And even if everything seems fine on the surface, he senses when something's different. He might ask gently, "Are you okay?" Or "Something feels off. Want to talk?" Or he might not ask at all. Instead, he changes the mood, lightens the moment, or simply stays by your side until you're ready to open up. His awareness comes not from guessing, but from genuinely caring enough to observe you closely. You don't have to explain yourself in detail. You don't have to pretend. He sees you. And that kind of emotional sensitivity isn't common. It's rare and precious. When someone can tell something's wrong before you say anything, it means they've been watching with love, not judgment. They've memoized your joy, so they recognize even the smallest crack in it. This kind of attentiveness can feel comforting and safe. It reminds you that you're not alone in your emotional world. Someone else is walking beside you quietly, reading between the lines, and offering their presence without pressure. When he notices your mood shifts instantly, it's his silent way of saying, "Your feelings matter to me. I see you, even when you try to hide." And sometimes, that's the loudest form of love. 7. He supports your dreams without hesitation. When a man supports your dreams without hesitation, it's a quiet but powerful form of love. He doesn't question your ambitions or make you feel like your goals are too big, too hard, or too unrealistic. Instead, he believes in them because he believes in you. He listens when you talk about your hopes and ideas, and rather than changing the subject or brushing it off, he leans in. He asks questions, offers encouragement, and sometimes even helps you brainstorm or plan. His support is natural, not forced. It doesn't come from obligation. It comes from pride in who you are. Even if your dreams don't directly involve him, he still stands beside you. He doesn't feel threatened by your growth. He celebrates it. He wants you to rise, to reach, to shine, even if it takes time, effort, or change. And most importantly, he never makes you feel like you have to choose between him and the life you want. He might be the one reminding you to apply for that opportunity you were scared of, or the one who shows up to cheer you on when no one else does. His belief in your potential is steady, quiet, and unconditional. It's not about taking over. It's about standing beside you as you lead your own path. This kind of support doesn't need a speech or spotlight. It shows in his actions, his patience, his presence. And in doing so, he's not just saying, "I'm here for you." He's saying, without words, "I see the greatness in you. I believe in where you're going, and I want to be part of the journey." 8. He defends you when you're not around. When a man defends you even when you're not around, it's one of the clearest and most meaningful signs that you matter deeply to him. It means he's loyal, not just to your face, but behind your back, when no one's watching. If someone speaks negatively about you, doubts your intentions, or disrespects you, he doesn't stay silent. He steps in, not out of anger, but out of respect, because he knows your worth, and he won't let anyone diminish it, even in casual conversation. He may not come running to tell you what was said or what he did. In fact, he might never mention it at all. But behind the scenes, he guards your name. He stands up for your character, your choices, your presence in his life. It's in those unseen moments that true affection shows, when there's nothing to gain, but everything to protect. Defending you in your absence means he sees you as part of his world, someone whose dignity matters to him, someone he's proud to be connected to. It's not just about confrontation. Sometimes it's simply correcting a false assumption, shutting down a joke that goes too far, or quietly walking away from a conversation that disrespects you. But every time he does it, it's a silent act of love. You may never hear about these moments, but they happen, and they speak volumes. Because when someone protects your name when you're not there, it means they carry you with them, honor you in private, and choose to be your shield, even in silence. 9. He includes you in his future plans. When a man includes you in his future plans, even in small, passing ways, it reveals how deeply he's beginning to see you as a lasting part of his life. He may not make big announcements or grand promises, but you'll notice the subtle ways he weaves you into what's coming next. Maybe he says, "We should go there someday," or "You'd love that place," when talking about travel. Perhaps he mentions how you'd both handle something down the road, buying a house, raising kids, changing careers. These quiet references are never forced. They slip out naturally, because in his mind, you're already part of his tomorrow. He no longer imagines his path alone. Your presence has become a constant in his thoughts about what's ahead. Whether it's making plans for next weekend or talking about where he sees himself in 5 years, he uses we instead of I, even without realizing it. He might ask your opinion on long-term goals or big decisions, not just out of curiosity, but because your thoughts matter. You're not just someone he enjoys today. You're someone he wants by his side as life unfolds. And he doesn't need to say it directly, because his words, actions, and plans already show it. This kind of inclusion isn't about fantasy or pretending. It's about genuine emotional investment. When a man begins to make space for you in his future, it's his silent way of saying, "I see you here, not just now, but always." It's a steady, quiet promise that grows stronger with time. 10. He offers help before you ask for it. When a man offers help before you even ask for it, it shows he's not just paying attention. He cares deeply. He's watching, not in a controlling way, but with quiet awareness. He notices when you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or simply in need of support. And instead of waiting for you to say something, he steps in. Maybe he offers to carry the load, solve a problem, run an errand, or just be there when things feel heavy. His help doesn't come with expectations. It's natural, gentle, and sincere. You won't have to drop hints or explain every detail. He senses when something's off. He anticipates your needs, even the small ones, like bringing you a warm drink when you're cold, checking in when you've had a long day, or doing something kind without being asked. It's in these unspoken gestures that his affection shines. He's present not just physically, but emotionally, and that presence becomes a kind of safety. This kind of support speaks louder than words. It shows a willingness to be part of your world in a real and dependable way. When he helps before you ask, it's his silent way of saying, "You don't have to carry everything alone. I've got you." And that quiet reliability, it's a kind of love that doesn't ask for attention, but deserves all of it. 11. He respects your boundaries. When a man respects your boundaries, it's a quiet but incredibly powerful sign that he values you, not just as someone he cares about, but as a person with your own space, voice, and comfort. He doesn't pressure you into doing things you're not ready for. He doesn't make you feel guilty for saying no. Instead, he listens, accepts, and adjusts. Whether it's emotional, physical, or personal space, he honors what you express without argument or frustration. Respecting boundaries isn't just about restraint. It's about understanding. It shows he sees you as more than just someone to impress or win over. He wants to build something real, and that means letting you move at your own pace. If you say you need time, space, or clarity, he gives it. And he doesn't keep score. He doesn't wait just to get something in return. This kind of respect creates safety. It builds trust. You begin to realize that with him, you're free to be yourself, without pressure, without fear of being misunderstood. He's not just interested in getting close physically or emotionally. He's interested in doing it the right way, the respectful way. And even when you don't spell out every boundary clearly, he pays attention to your cues. He notices what makes you uncomfortable, what you hesitate about, and he responds with patience. That awareness, that willingness to honor your limits, speaks volumes. It's his silent way of saying, I care more about you than about my own wants. And that kind of respect is the foundation of real love. 12. He shares things that make him vulnerable. When a man shares things that make him vulnerable, it's one of the most intimate and silent ways he shows how much you mean to him. Vulnerability doesn't come easily for most people, especially for men who are used to hiding their fears, pain, or past behind strength and silence. So when he opens up to you about something that hurt him, something that scared him, or something he's never told anyone else, it's a powerful signal of trust. He might talk about childhood wounds, past heartbreaks, personal insecurities, or fears about the future. These aren't stories he shares casually. They're pieces of himself he usually keeps locked away. But with you, he feels safe enough to be seen in his raw, unfiltered form. There's no mask, no performance. Just truth. He's not trying to impress you in those moments. In fact, he might seem nervous or hesitant. But still, he shares because you're not just someone he enjoys spending time with. You're someone he wants to build something real with. And to do that, he knows he has to let you in. When a man lets down his guard and invites you into his inner world, it's his quiet way of saying, I trust you with my truth. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's deep. And it means he doesn't just want you to know the polished parts of him. He wants you to know the real him, the human parts, the soft parts, the ones that love, fear, hope, and hurt. And that kind of openness, rare, honest, and tender, is love in its most silent form. 13. He celebrates your wins like his own. When a man celebrates your wins like his own, it's a beautiful, silent way of showing that your happiness brings him joy. He doesn't see your success as competition or something separate from him. He sees it as something to be proud of, something to uplift. Whether it's a big promotion, a small achievement, or a personal milestone, his excitement is real. You can hear it in his voice, see it in his smile, and feel it in the way he's genuinely thrilled for you. He doesn't just say congrats out of politeness. He feels the moment with you. He might plan something special to celebrate, or simply hold you tightly with pride in his eyes. It's not about making the moment about him. It's about standing beside you and saying, without words, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You did it, and I'm so happy I get to witness it. This kind of reaction shows deep emotional connection. It means your joy adds to his own. It means he's not just watching your journey from the sidelines. He's walking it with you, rooting for you every step of the way. He wants to see you rise. And when you do, he's right there, cheering not for himself, but for you. When a man celebrates your wins like his own, he's showing that love isn't just about comfort in hard times. It's about joy in the good ones too. And in that shared happiness, he reveals just how deeply he's invested in your light. 14. He stays present during tough times. When a man stays present during tough times, it's one of the most genuine ways he shows you truly matter to him. He doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. He doesn't shy away from your sadness, stress, or pain. Instead, he stays quietly, steadily, without needing to fix everything. His presence becomes a kind of comfort, even when he has no perfect words to offer. He's simply there, emotionally grounded, available, and unshaken by the weight of what you're going through. He doesn't tell you to get over it or try to minimize what you're feeling. He listens. He lets you cry, vent, or sit in silence. And even when you're not at your best, when you're messy, overwhelmed, or hurting, he treats you with the same care and respect as always. Because his affection isn't based on good moods or easy moments. It's rooted in something deeper. Being present in hard times is a quiet kind of love. It's not about grand solutions. It's about being someone you can lean on. Someone who doesn't flinch when things get real. Someone who makes you feel seen and supported when the world feels heavy. In those moments, his calm presence says more than 1,000 words. It says, You don't have to go through this alone. I've got you. And that steady commitment, even in silence, is one of the strongest ways a man reveals his heart. 15. He remembers what matters to you even when you forget. When a man remembers what matters to you, even when you forget, it's a deeply touching, silent expression of love. He holds on to the things that make you you, the dreams you once whispered, the little rituals that brought you peace, or the goals you quietly set and then tucked away in the rush of daily life. And when those moments slip from your mind, he gently reminds you, not to impress you, but because he was paying attention when it counted. Maybe you once talked about wanting to learn a new skill, and months later, he encourages you to give it a try again. Perhaps you shared how a certain song or place brings back childhood memories, and he brings it up unexpectedly to lift your mood. These are not random coincidences. These are signs of emotional presence. He listens deeply, stores your values in his heart, and brings them back when you need them most. It's especially powerful because it shows he's not just hearing you, he's honoring you. He sees beyond the surface, remembers the core of who you are, and holds space for the things that fuel your soul. Even when you lose track of your own passions or needs, he keeps them alive, quietly protecting what's meaningful to you. And he doesn't make it a big deal. There's no spotlight, no performance. Just thoughtful, quiet acts that say, I see you, I know you, I remember what matters to you, even when the world gets noisy. That kind of love is rare. It's unspoken, steady, and deeply sincere.